Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Katie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 DIYs that you can make to decorate your porch for springtime. So the reason that I decided to make this video is I really wanted to decorate my porch, but I didn't feel like spending a ton of money, and I feel like I accomplished it. The DIYs turned out really well, and they're super easy, and almost all of the items came from the Dollar Tree, so definitely inexpensive and won't blow your budget. So I think that's all for the intro. If you're not subscribed already to my channel, definitely consider doing so. I would love to have you. I do a lot of DIY videos and decorating and cleaning and that type of thing. So if that is your thing, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be notified of when I post a new video. And let's go ahead and get right on into the DIYs. For this first DIY, you're going to need 4 of the wooden Dollar Tree signs. What you're going to do is turn these over and then just paint the back of them. And I used Waverly chalk paint for this, and you can use whatever you like. I really love chalk paint. It's kind of an obsession of mine lately, and I always get mine at Walmart. I find that they have a really good deal, so I painted all 4 of these signs from Dollar Tree.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you.
Once you have all of your signs painted and they've dried, you're going to need something to attach the signs to. And I just used this piece of wood that I had at my house from a previous project. But if you don't have that, there are items at the Dollar Tree that you could use, possibly a broom or something like that, like the long part of the broom, obviously. However, since I just had this in my house, I decided to save the money, and also I just felt like it was a lot easier to attach the pieces of wood to another piece of wood. But whatever works for you, just use that. And basically this is just providing a little bit of stability. So I laid out all of my pieces onto the piece of wood and made sure that it was going to be the right size. And then I attached the signs using hot glue and E6000. I allowed the hot glue and E6000 to dry for several hours. Preferably, if you can wait overnight, that would be best, just to let the E6000 have enough time to dry fully. And in this time, I printed off some letters that said home just from my printer, and on the backs, I decided to paint them using just white chalk paint. It's the Waverly paint that I like to buy from Walmart, and I don't know that this step is absolutely necessary. I just wanted the sign to look as authentic as possible, and I felt that if I painted the papers that would kind of give it more of a real type of look that you would purchase at a store. So I could see a little bit of the outline of the letters poking through, so I just painted over those letters with the chalk paint and then allowed that to dry. And after it was dry, then I cut the letters out and glued the letters onto the sign using Mod Podge, and the side with the paint on would be facing up. I used quite a lot of Mod Podge, and I also did not measure where these letters were going to go. I just eyeballed it. But if you are a perfectionist type of person or just want to be professional about it, you can definitely do that, and it would probably make your sign look better. But I didn't, and I don't really notice the difference. So I'll show you, and then you can make up your mind and see what you think. And after I had glued these down, I covered the tops of them with Mod Podge as well. I think that this gives them a nice kind of farmhouse-ish. I'm using the word that isn't really a word, but farmhouse-ish type of look, and also I feel like it helps the letters stay on even better. So I put a nice coat of that over the top of all the letters and then let that dry. I purchased this little wreath at the Dollar Tree, and to decorate this, I used some lilac picks that I found at Walmart, and these were actually 97 cents, so even cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And I did look for some flowers at the Dollar Tree, but when I was there, my Dollar Tree just didn't have any that I was really interested in. They had a lot of like bigger flowers, and I wanted something smaller to go with the small wreath and with my sign. So I got these lavender picks instead, but if you want to make this all 100% Dollar Tree, you can definitely use Dollar Tree flowers instead. I placed the lilac flowers around the wreath and I just used my glue gun to help secure them, but the little crevices in the wreath kind of helped hold them down fairly nicely. I used the wreath to form the O of the word home, and to secure this onto the sign, I just used the same combination of hot glue and E6000, and this worked very well. I took one of the bows off of the Dollar Tree sign that I had used to make this sign and put it on the wreath, and this was the finished look. This next project was so easy. I just took a watering can from the Dollar Tree and painted this with white chalk paint. Actually, my husband painted this one while I was painting the other DIY. We were just working together to get everything painted so we could let it dry, but it did take a couple of coats of the chalk paint to fully cover this, and after that, I just let it dry. Once the watering can was completely dry, then I wrapped twine that I purchased from the Dollar Tree around the handle, and I fully covered the handle just to give it a more of a rustic look. And I did not paint the bottom of this watering can just because I don't care, but if you do, then obviously you can paint that. And after that, then I put a little bit of hot glue at the end of the twine and just snipped it off, and I had my handle covered in twine. To fill the watering can, I used some of the same 97-cent lavender that I got from Walmart, and I used just two of these to fully fill this up. And you could use more or less, but I felt like two was the perfect amount, and I love this. I think that it looks like it would cost like $20 at Kirkland's. For the third DIY, I will also be using this Waverly chalk paint in white, and also 3 potting plant containers from the Dollar Tree. And I picked these because I like the texture on them, but Dollar Tree does carry several varieties, and I did get the largest size in all 3. The first thing that I did was paint these using the chalk paint, and this definitely took 2 coats, maybe even 3 in some areas because of all of the bumps and the ridges. But like I said, I really do like the texture of this. I just feel like it gives it a little bit of something extra, so it's worth the extra time that it takes to paint them. Once the pots were all painted and dried, I used this potting soil, also from the Dollar Tree, and filled these all 3 up fairly full. My plan is to stack them on top of each other, so I wanted a good amount of soil in each of these potting plants. After I had got the soil into the potted plants, I decided to add some of this rope that can be purchased at the Dollar Tree. I wanted to put this around the top of the pots, and I just use hot glue to secure the rope, and hot glue actually worked really well. It stuck to the potted plants so nicely. And I will mention I did not paint the inside of the pots very nicely because I am going to completely cover the inside of these potted plants up with flowers when I'm done with the DIY, and I will show you that in just a second. I stacked all of the planters on top of each other, and then I placed some greenery around the pots, like kind of just sticking out. And I used this garland that I had from Hobby Lobby. I didn't go out and buy it, I just had it from a different project, and it wasn't a full-size garland anymore. I'd already used bits and pieces of it, so I cut that down to size and stuck that in certain areas. And then I also used some of the same lilac plant that I've used in the other 2 DIYs to kind of tie all 3 of them together. And I am loving how this turned out. I wasn't so sure about it when I was in the middle of it. I initially wanted the pots to kind of have a tilt to them, but that didn't work out. But in the end, I actually think this one might be my favorite. So I'm really excited with how it ended up looking. Here is a look at all of the finished DIYs together, and let me know what you think. If you loved any of them, hated any of them, would have done something differently. I am curious to know your opinion, but I am happy with them, and all of these projects put together were less than $20, and I just feel like you can't beat that. So thank you all so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I hope that you have an amazing day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.